What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of GhettoRig podcast, episode 143.
Four.
Four?
Yeah.
144. So, for those who don't know, my name is Eddie. To my left is my co-host Jay, and behind the camera we've got Miggy, our
What's
producer.
going on?
So, we got some stuff for you guys today. Starting off, looks like we got an article pulled up for about some bacteria in your mouth and playing a more important role in your
Before
health.
we get
Here
into
are
the
four diseases linked to
articles.
your oral microbiome.
Before we go into the articles, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on. I mean, we missed
Okay.
a couple of days. Like, what have we been up to?
So the reason we didn't have one of the episodes is because I was out to Key West. It was kind of crazy because first time when I heard about Key West, a lot of people anytime anyone ever described Key West to me was kind of like meh, right? So I was like, yeah, well,
So you had never gone
I've never
to
been,
Key West before then?
never,
Wow.
never been, and
I thought you would since you travel so much and stuff. I thought
No.
you'd probably go like sometimes. Have you been to Miami a couple times?
yeah, a lot. Been to
You never
Miami
just
many
thought
times.
of like, I'm gonna take a drive down there to Key West.
I mean, it's not that short of a drive from Miami to Key West.
It's another
Yeah, it's what, like
3.5
hours?
hours. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
just-
long ass fucking drive on those
Mhm.
roads though. How do you like
It-
that?
Yeah, no,
He flew down there.
I flew down there.
Oh shit!
You flew directly
to
Lucky
Key
you
West,
did.
right?
You didn't
Yeah.
get the whole experience then,
No,
because it's definitely an experience having to drive through that fucking single road for hours on end.
yeah. So the thing with that is, man, if you think about it, that's 2 7-hour drives from us.
Yeah.
So you're literally losing an entire day easily.
No, I would definitely prefer just
Yeah,
landing over.
especially it's an hour and
Emily
15
says
minute.
hi in the chat.
Hello.
Hey, it's hour and a 15 minute, literally an hour and 15 minute flight. You know what I mean? And those flights are not big. Like if you fly Silver Airline, which is basically partnered with United, it's a prop plane, right? These are propeller planes. Only 2 seats per
You're
row.
on the wrong one.
2 seats per row, and
There you go.
the plane had maybe 20 people that way and back, 20 people in it. So each one of
Really?
us got our own row, like on our own. You know what I mean?
Was it a big plane too, like a regular plane?
No, it's 2 seats per 2 rows, 2 seats each.
Oh, okay.
You do
So,
still
so small little private plane.
yeah, do like a Silver Airline prop planes.
Hold on.
Oh, it was a prop plane?
Yeah, it was a prop
So the
plane.
turbulence was a little bit more, huh?
A
Airline.
little more, but they didn't go till
Silver Airways.
yes, sir. They went only Silver Airways propeller. Yeah, there you go. That's the planes you fly with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you get on it from the back. You don't get on it from the front. Like the door is on the back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Interesting.
you fly only 15,000 feet. You don't go 30,000. Because it's a propeller plane, there's not enough oxygen to, there's not, these are turbo propellers. There's not enough oxygen up there for these turbo propellers to run because they're just not like turbines, you know what I mean?
So,
Jet
that's
turbines.
interesting because I didn't know that. I knew that airplanes had oxygen, but I thought it was only used for emergency purposes. I didn't know it was
No, he's
because
talking
there
about
was.
oxygen provided to the engines.
Fuel
Oh,
mixture for the
to
fuel and
the
oxygen
engines.
mixture, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because this plane uses a traditional combustion engine like you would find in
So
think of
regular
it
car.
almost like the same concept. They usually are like a spiraled engine with a bunch of pistons, and that all depends. I mean, I've seen small propeller planes that use like a car size engine, even smaller sometimes, but it still use like a traditional engine.
Yeah,
right?
see the-
Turbine engines run
Click the
completely
third
different.
picture. Click the third. Yeah, that's what it looked like inside. Literally, that's it right
Oh,
there.
that's small, man.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
there are
small.
only 10 or 14 rows, something like that.
Oh, okay, that's super small.
Super small.
Talking about planes, the prime minister was it of
Argentina.
Palestine?
Oh, Palestine.
Died in a helicopter crash. No remains were found at the scene. You guys didn't hear about that? That's
Mm-mm.
pretty
Nope.
big.
Go
No.
pull it up.
Yeah, I got you.
Because I know prime minister. I mean Argentina's guy. He refused to fly commercial. That made huge news. He just flew regular airline.
Was it Palestine or Hamas? Iran's.
No, that's
Was it Iran?
no.
Or not?
Yasser Arafat was Palestine.
President.
Just look up.
Oh, that
Paul
one I
Close
saw.
dies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one I saw. Yeah, Iran's president, he died. Yeah, I saw that.
That guy.
In the helicopter crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But weren't we just about to go to war with these guys? Because
no,
they're talking shit.
no, they're just Israel handled that for us.
Israel handled that for us.
Yeah, they did.
Didn't they have a terrorist war between each other?
Who, Israel and Iran?
Yeah, back in like the 60s.
So there's always been a problem in that
Was
area.
it 60s or
No.
probably like 70s?
We
It,
we
it was around there.
we fucked the shit out of Iran too. We even had sanctions on it for
Look up
longest.
Israel-Iran conflict.
Worse. Conflict.
Yeah, that was the newest one when Iran sent the rockets over to Israel and Israel pretty much knocked them out of the sky, and nothing touched Israel except for like I think one or two.
The Iran-Israel proxy conflict, also known as the Iran-Israel proxy war or Iran-Israel Cold War, is an ongoing proxy conflict between Iran and Israel. In the Israeli-Lebanese conflict, Iran has supported Lebanese Shia militias, most notably Hezbollah. In the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Iran has backed Palestinian groups such as Hamas. So that's why it's so
Yes.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Israel has supported Iranian rebels such as the People's Mujahideen of Iran, conducted airstrikes against Iranian allies in Syria, and assassinated Iranian nuclear scientists. In 2018, Israeli forces directly attacked Iranian forces in Syria.
So what happened was they went and they hit a embassy. In this embassy, they knew that there was a guy going from Iran to sell weapons to Hezbollah. They hit the embassy, and there were embassies next door, right? So, but there was a very surgical strike directly to the embassy of Iran, and they killed seven people within the embassy, and one of them was the guy that was about to sell weapons to Hezbollah. So that's Iran's retribution to that. But what they said is, I think they either said it or not, I don't remember. But then Iran came back and said, on this day and this time, we're going to send rockets to basically move out of the area. And Israel has that Iron Dome, I think it's called, or something like that. So the rockets that they sent over, they get it from Russia, and they're like 4,000 or 6,000 drone rockets. They're not
That's
very
cool
expensive.
technology, dude.
Yeah, they're not very expensive.
The picture that I have in my head of that is like in that event in the Avengers movie, that one shield that they have
Yeah,
protecting the fortress,
yeah,
and then it becomes broken.
Good morning, Ozzy.
yeah. And then, so basically what happened was, hey, put the volume down real quick.
Oh, I thought I muted it.
Yeah, so what happened was they knocked them out of the sky, basically, with the rockets. It took them, I think, they were spending $10,000 or $40,000 per each $6,000 rocket to knock it out of the sky. That was the difference. But Israel pretty much mopped the floor with Iran's, I guess, attack, you know. So,
All right, let's bring up the first article here. So we got the bacteria in your mouth plays an important role in your health. Here are 4 diseases linked to your oral microbiome. And we got your mouth is one of the most diverse habitats in the human body. It contains over 700 known species of bacteria, as well as yeasts, viruses, and some protozoa. This community is collectively referred to as the oral microbiome, and like your gut microbiome, the bacteria in your mouth plays an important role in your health. Some of the most common diseases caused by the changes to your oral microbiome are tooth decay and gum disease. But growing evidence suggests that the oral microbiome is also linked to many other serious health conditions that occur elsewhere in the body. Respiratory diseases. Since the respiratory tract starts in the mouth and ends in the lungs, it's perhaps not surprising that an overgrowth of the oral microbiome can result in these microbes being inhaled into the lungs. This can commonly lead to infections such as pneumonia, an often fatal disease in the elderly that has been linked to poor oral hygiene, leading to an overgrowth of the oral bacteria such as Streptococcus pneumoniae and
Pneumonia.
Haemophilus influenzae.
Streptococcus pneumonia.
Research has even demonstrated that introducing regular oral hygiene practices in professional dental cleaning in elderly care homes can reduce the number of pneumonia cases by a third. That's a big chunk.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dental diseases relate to, there you go, heart disease. You read it, never mind.
Keeping dentures and mouthguards clean is also important. Poor oral health is also linked to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and poor respiratory function. And this is linked to changes in the oral microbiome. Heart disease. One of the most common oral microbiome diseases is the chronic gum disease.
It
This
just
is
says Mickey sounds a little low.
It's probably because I'm not speaking directly into the microphone. I'm facing that way. Um, this disease is caused by an overgrowth of bacteria that thrive in the crevice between your gums and your teeth due to poor oral hygiene. But what has puzzled researchers for years is a strong association between gum disease and cardiovascular disease. The link may be due to common risk factors. For example, gum disease and the heart disease are both more common in smokers. Others have theorized that gum disease bacteria might travel to the heart and cause infection. No convincing evidence for this link has yet been presented. Gum disease also triggers a strong inflammatory immune response. Inflammation is how the body tackles infections. It results in the production of immune cells and chemical signals that fight the infection, but too much inflammation can be damaging. Some researchers think that inflammation caused by gum disease could damage the cardiovascular system.
That's interesting. I've heard of like your mouth can sometimes like be a sign of certain things that are happening in your body, but this is kind of the opposite of where how your mouth can influence the other parts of your body.
You know what's the craziest thing? The toilet seat is cleaner than your mouth.
And that was tested in a public toilet seat.
Mhm.
The test you're talking about, they went to a gas station and to other public places to check that.
How crazy is
Same
that?
thing with your phone. Your phone is more dirty than a public toilet seat on average.
They even linked. I read this research. They even linked that um, some colon cancer is caused by there's some people that love to toss the salad. It's literally linked to that because bacteria from your mouth gets there, and that literally could
That's
give
interesting.
someone colon cancer. Yeah,
Maybe not eat ass so often.
or ever.
Eat it on a diet.
Eat it on a diet.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. Yeah, there you go.
This is the
Colon cancer.
cancer right here that you're talking about. And Alzheimer's disease. This one's interesting. Let me read this. One of the
But
most
this is talking about it
controversial.
going through the this colon cancer is talking about it going through your stomach
Through
and
your stomach.
intestines, and eventually getting to your colon.
One of the most controversial links between oral health and disease involves Alzheimer's disease. Chronic gum disease has been associated with greater cognitive decline in people with Alzheimer's disease. But since both gum disease and Alzheimer's diseases are associated with aging, it's difficult to determine if there's a clear cause and effect relationship. But in 2019, researchers presented evidence that the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease were colonized with P. gingivalis, one of the main bacteria that causes gum disease. The idea that the brain, a normally sterile part of the body, could be infected by oral bacteria is still highly controversial and requires further work.
You know how most gingivitis happens? Just the gaps in between your teeth. I remember when they have like this little stick that they go through your teeth and they'll check the gap. Like basically they're going in with this little
The
tiny
depth.
pole
Mm-hmm.
that goes in and it gets thicker and thicker as it goes through, and and they look at it and see how deep it'll go in between the teeth to see, because what they told me is I have minor gingivitis. They said a minor gingivitis case because of the small gaps in between my teeth in the back
So what it
So
helps.
that gingivitis is caused by those gaps keeping
and the
food
bacteria
trapped
building up.
in there.
That's
Okay.
it. So what helps is actually brushing and specifically
Flossing.
flossing, and specifically massaging your gums. And the way you should really do it is
What
because
do you
you
mean
don't
massage your gums with your tongue? Like,
with the toothbrush. You literally like brush your gums. That
Okay.
massages the shit out of the gums, right? So the way you do it is first you floss, then you do the mouthwash, right? Because that coats your teeth with fluoride. Then you do toothpaste and you spit it out. You do not take water in your mouth. You do not rinse your mouth because what that does, that removes the fluoride that you just put in there.
I also heard that the right way to brush your teeth is you don't even wet your toothbrush
No,
or the paste at all. You just do plain paste because the point of it is it's supposed to stick the debris from your teeth or inside your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Correct.
were to water it down, it would just
Mm-hmm.
it's not sticky anymore. So
Correct. That's how you do it. And then another thing
I didn't know
would
that.
huh?
I didn't know that you're not supposed to use water.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
you
till
know
long
water
ago
because
either.
the no water use is because at the end, if you do use water, if your toothpaste has fluoride, and fluoride is what prevents cavities. If it has fluoride in it, if you like swirl the water in your mouth, it literally just like cleans the fluoride off your teeth. that you just put on there. So you don't. And then another thing is scraping of your tongue. If you haven't done scraping of your tongue yet,
It's
you
interesting.
need to like literally go to your local Walmart, Publix,
Just order it on
CVS,
Amazon.
TJ Maxx, order it on Amazon, get a tongue scraper and use it. You use it once, you'll never stop using it again.
Yeah, I use that shit every day.
Yeah, the first time I used it, I was like, holy shit.
Tongue scrapers are fucking dope. They're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to get one and like you don't realize all the shit that gets gunked up
Yeah.
on your tongue.
And you know
throughout
what
the
I've
day.
done? I've done even like my own little experiment where I will brush my tongue and then use the tongue scraper, or not brush my tongue and then use the tongue scraper. And the difference is that I say it's like a 20 is like a 75 50 to 75% difference in gunk that comes off your tongue, right? But there's still gunk that comes off your tongue, but regardless whether you brush it or not.
I always brush my tongue and then I use the tongue scraper.
Yeah. Drink coffee and smoke cigarettes. Amazing. It's like a
Oh,
yeah.
it just reminded me we didn't speak about this. Don't forget about our official sponsors, guys. Vitality Wellness Center and UFC Gym Largo. There are links in the description down below the video.
Oh, by the way, guys, Optimize You.
I think
Are
so.
we talking about this? Ozzy, give me a thumbs up in the chat if we want to talk about Optimize You yet. Um, but yeah. So
You got any questions for us, Miggy?
Give me a minute.
all right.
So
So
I see you pulled up some watches here. You showed off your new strap, dog?
not yet. I was going to talk about that.
You
So
got a new gun?
No.
so
Actual strap.
so I got a new present, and I'm pretty excited. This is in the longest time. This is one of the presents that I'm like, oh shit, I really really like it. I wanted to purchase one, and I just kept putting it away. And then Eddie comes through and surprises me with this strap. It's insane, man. I love it. It's like super nice, fine leather. They make Birkin bags out of this leather. That's the type of leather we're talking about here. And it changed the look of the watch completely, you know?
It's a different watch, man.
Yeah, it's completely different, you know? And it's lighter, which was surprising
Bro,
because
that-
when I
That
when I took
bracelet
the
was so
strap,
heavy.
Jesus, the bracelet was heavy, yeah.
I couldn't
Um,
believe it when I put it in my hand. Like it's solid,
Yeah.
solid. Like even the little end links where the bracelet meets the watch. Usually it's like hollow in there.
Yeah.
It was
Yes, it
solid.
is solid. Colon cancer is more common in men. However, there is no evidence linking tossing salad to anal or colon cancer. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so Ozzy, give us a thumbs up in the chat if you want me to talk about Optimize You. I'll mention Optimize You. As a matter of fact, I'll send the link to Miggy if he wants us to talk about Optimize You, which we'll do. No problem. Also, yeah, so the trip that I took to Key West, anytime anyone really talks about Key West, they always talked about not in a completely positive light, but almost like a negative light. They're saying, oh, the water is dirty, this and that. When I got there, so here's the deal with Key West, right? When you are in Key West and you already live in St. Petersburg, you might be like, oh, this is it. Because the whole idea of a Key West is you can literally walk from one side of the island to the other side by foot, and it'll take you only like 15 minutes, right? To get from water to water. They have this main street, it's called Duval Street. That's where all their bars are. So think of like downtown Central Avenue, that's the Duval Street, right? And then besides that, it's a beach town, right? So all the things that you can possibly imagine to do are the beach things to do. But their water is actually blue. Right around the Key West area, if you don't venture out, it's a little bit brownish green depending how clean the water is. But if you do venture out, you go through shades of blue. Like it starts from light blue all the way to like extremely blue. The water was so clean that we were able to see the bottom of the floor at about 50 feet deep. You could make out the bottom. That's how clean this water was, right? So I was genuinely surprised. I actually enjoyed it. I don't think people give Key West enough credit. You know, you guys are awesome. Yeah, go ahead. He said thumbs up on it. So okay, so people don't give Key West enough credit, and a lot of people say it's very expensive. It is not. If you've gone out downtown St. Pete lately, it's half the price of what it costs to get a drink or food in Key West than it is downtown St. Pete. You know what I mean? It's cheaper than downtown St. Pete. So I'm not sure what it is.
I've been. I liked it.
Yeah.
I've been
So
a couple times
this is
actually.
the form. So again, Optimize You has partnered with Vitality St. Pete, and their Vitality St. Pete not only because Vitality St. Pete is the best way I could say is the hardware would be the Vitality St. Pete, but with any good hardware, you need the software to run it. So if you think of your body as the computer shell, the hardware would be like the massages, the cold tubs, the all this and that, and then software would be protein injections, things like that, right? These are
Hormones.
yeah, these are things that do help your body work better when you do have injuries and things like that. So they do like blood tests there and things like that. Any of those people that are on TRT, they'll do the blood tests and from what I understand, it's gonna be. I don't want to give away a price because I'm not sure if it's 100% sure that's what it is. It's a monthly membership fee that also includes 4 credits of Vitality.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you're already paying for Vitality, by doing the credits with them, that gives you the credits for Vitality, integrated credits for Optimize You, which is covered by a doctor. There's an actual doctor that writes prescriptions for the things that you need, and they specialize in this. So when they do look at your numbers, at your age and things like that, they know exactly. Okay, well, at this age, yes, this is the range, but optimal for you is this.
Right.
So they optimize you on the levels of your blood test, and it's not just a regular blood test to test your glucose and lipids levels, right? They go deep into it, like hematocrits, your
Full
liver
panel.
enzymes, all of that, like prostate enzymes for men, which is really specific, right? All of those things, and then they say, okay, well, we can better this, and this is how we're gonna better it, right?
It's like a personal trainer for your body.
Yes, it's basically you just injecting the correct software or call it antivirus, right? Like to get everything going. Like for example, BPC. It's not they haven't gotten rid of BPC yet through FDA. I mean, it's not FDA approved, but it's not banned either. So for you to get um, pharmacy grade BPC, good luck, right? This is a pharmacy grade BPC. If you have an injury, BPC 157 is a body protecting compound. TB 500 is another one which increases the vascularity in an area that's affected, right? So all by increasing vascularity, you bring more blood. By having more BPC, a body protecting compound, and all the enzymes that your body produces, you heal your injuries, internal injuries of ligaments and soft tissue much faster. So
We need to bring Ozzy
Ryan
on to
Garcia
talk about
tested
this.
positive again for banned PD.
mhm.
Yep, Ostarine, something like that. It's supposed to help with muscle growth.
Do you guys think his title should be revoked because of it? I don't think it
he
should.
didn't get a title.
He didn't get the
Well,
title
not even
because he was overweight.
But it was did it even count on his?
So it
score?
counts as a win or a loss on both of their records. That's what they're gonna probably overturn
Yeah,
to a
that's what
no
I was
contest.
gonna ask then. Like, does that get overturned because he was using that?
Yeah,
So-
more than likely. So it's up to the
Because
New
I
York Athletic
personally-
Commission.
I personally don't think so.
So
I think they should just start letting them use it. Honestly,
Yeah, just
So,
let him use it, man.
it's according
Max it
to the New York Athletic State Commission.
yeah.
So they'll decide on what to do with the win. Very likely they're going to overturn it and call it a no contest, and that way both of Devin Haney's perfect record will come back, even though it's technically a loss or technically not a loss at the same time. I don't know. So what happened is they already knew he had tested for Ostarine before the fight. Now is when they released that he also tested for that same PED after the fight as well. So
So your body naturally produces ostarine, right? Just like your body naturally produces creatine. It's the levels that matter, right? But the bottom line is this: whether they put it non-contest, whether they revoke his win and this or that. So I watched this episode of the show name is Bull. It's nothing crazy, like it's something that runs in the background and you watch it, right? It's when the lawyer comes out basically, and instead of asking questions, they start giving testimony, meaning saying, well, instead of asking the question to the person that's at the stand, they're like, well, they'll turn around, look at the jury, and go, well, we have the knife, we have his prints on it, we have this and that. So who did it? And then the other opposing counsel will be like, uh, judge objection testifying. So judge will say, either overruled, which means no, continue, or suppressed, right? I don't forget the real
Yeah,
name.
like ignore that statement or
Yeah,
something
and
like
then the
that.
judge will turn around, look at the jury, and say, ignore the statement. No one is going to ignore that statement, right? Even though the judge said that, ignore the statement, they're not going to ignore it. So it's the same thing with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And you put it non-contest. No one is going to ignore or forget that picture of him standing like this above him and Devin Haney just laying on the ground. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to ignore that. Devin Haney is always going to go down in the books as the guy that did
But
30 fights won, but then when he got an actual boxer in front of him,
it's
he folded.
it's not the same thing though, Jay, because at
It's
the end of the
not.
day,
It's
it's not
not.
the end, at the end of the day, the jury does decide whether guilty or not, right? The Athletic State Commission is not the people. You know what I
Correct,
mean?
correct, correct,
So the people will look at it one way, but the official result is determined
correct,
by them versus being determined by the people, like in a jury.
correct. No, no, that's 100%. You're correct. But at the end of the day, who foots the bill for Ryan Garcia fights? The people. I don't give a fuck what commission says. People are still gonna buy those pay-per-views just to watch him talk shit and then fight and not and put people out on their ass, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the bottom line. They're not gonna ruin his career because he did that. Look at John Jones. Motherfucker, the
Bad
strongest
supplement.
I hate to say the strongest opponent he ever had was his wife, and she never quit. You know what I mean? Like he just got in trouble again for beating the crap out of his wife. Idiot. But you know what I mean? Like
I love that video of him running through the parking lot with that shotgun or rifle. I think it is. It's like chasing someone down or something. That's one of the reasons. That's when he got arrested.
yeah. So he's done all kinds of fuck shit. Tested positive for drugs, and then beat the crap out of his wife. He's still considered one of the best fighters out there. And when people look at him, they're not talking about, oh, he's a wife beater, does drugs or this and that. People will make fun of it, but no one is saying that he's not the GOAT, right? The guy even gained weight. He looks like a chunky little bit now. Nobody
So-
cares.
You guys want? Speaking of celebrities, you guys want to hear how Jay Balvin scammed the right people out of $25,000? Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that. And it was pretty genius though.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
pretty cool. So Jay Balvin had those new shoes that just came out. I think that was released
Jordans.
yesterday. Some new threes, right?
Mhm.
He's done a few Jordans already. Anyways, they're $250, right? He scammed the scammers out of $25,000. What he did was he did like a pre-release. So these released through the sneakers app on through Nike,
Yeah.
but he also did like a pre-release through his own website where the shoe was $25,000, right? And a bunch of people set up bots where they'll get tens or hundreds of shoes through these bots, buying them to resell, right? What he did was he listed the shoes on his website at $25,000 and went on Twitter to all of his followers and said, "Hey, here's the coupon code to bring it down by 24,750." So they were $250 shoes like they're supposed to be. And a bunch of the bots went through and bought the shoes at $25,000.
Yeah, he made a shit ton of money off of that. Well,
Yeah,
not
and he
him,
also
but-
he also scammed all the bots. All the people that were trying to buy the shoe just to resell them. He wanted his shoe to be worn by the people that are gonna, or to
Actually
be
wear.
bought by the people that are actually gonna wear them. Not to resell. The sneaker community that are they hate the reselling market.
yeah,
you know,
of course.
It's its own culture.
Not even just the sneakers, just a lot of people in
Well, they-
general.
Yeah, so exactly, reselling market when it comes to
Computers.
anything is really annoying, and there's a certain part of the following that gets into it. Like at this point, reselling sneakers is its own culture. That's
Its
why you
own
got
business.
SneakerCon
It's
and all
own
that
business,
stuff.
too.
You've seen the business. They even had it on Tyrone Mall, a place that was just reselling,
Yeah.
like a bunch of nice sneakers. It's actually shut down. We and Jay walked past it today in Tyrone, but there's all these outlet malls and stuff like that. They always have those little shops that are just reselling sneakers.
So the best bot right now they have. I watched this show. I think it was like news or something like that. They were showing this Asian kid, young kid. I think he created it when he was like 17 years old. This is the bot that everyone uses, and it's only thousand licenses that he sells per month, and each license per month is $300. So these people that own this, and there's a wait list to get this bot because no one can beat this bot. Basically, no matter what these companies do, they cannot beat this specific bot, and he sells only 1,000 licenses, $300 a pop. This kid is bringing in 3.6 million dollars a year doing this shit, and he's been doing it for a couple of years now. And they even put his family on TV. So apparently, he himself, since he doesn't participate, he created this, and people buy the license from him, and it's like You can use it for whatever they want to use it. I didn't create this for that, right? Like that's what they're using it for.
Yeah.
It's up to
The
them. I'm
bot
not
technically
doing
can
it.
go buy anything.
Yeah, and he doesn't really support any kind of like technical aspects of it. He doesn't help them do any of this shit. He just basically updates the bot at all times. But they use it
That's one way to make
specifically.
money.
They use it specifically for the shoes. It's not like tickets like T Sweezy tickets and things like that. You can technically use that for T Sweezy tickets if you want it. But
Anything.
it's based, yes, but it's concentrated specifically into the shoe community.
I can see you wearing these, Miggy.
I'd wear them. Why not?
I in my opinion, these are
Good
like
looking
the
shoes.
coolest looking Jordans. All the other Jordans I don't like so much, but these are the coolest looking Jordans.
I'm
in my
getting
opinion.
some tomorrow that Emily got us. She bought us the matching
Oh yeah,
pair
your
of the
the
11s.
ones, yeah, you got those are good looking too.
Put those, Miggy, they are the Jordan 11 low. Just put it. It should be one of the recent ones that came out. Like, yep, right there.
Those are cool. The reason I like this,
Oh, those are like the old school ones. Those are
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
the reason I like this because they're low, right? They look like a
Mhm.
shoe. It doesn't look like you play basketball.
Yeah. I like them, and they're the most comfortable Jordans I've ever tried on, out of all the retros that I've tried. Because Rodolfo's had plenty of pairs, and I've tried on his 11. It was the high tops, but still, they're the most comfortable ones.
Yeah,
Like
those are
compared to
pretty
my
sweet, man.
sixes, the sixes are uncomfortable as shit.
You guys have you guys learned anything interesting lately? I did.
So I learned that Key West is actually a pretty cool place, and if you do get to go there, 1 hour 15-minute flight, definitely take it. Go there. It's not super expensive. Oh, guess what was the cheapest house they were selling in Key West when we looked through Zillow?
$350,000.
No,
690,000.
you're closer. It was $600,000. Guess how big it was?
2-1.
What do you got?
2-1, yeah.
It was a 200 square foot efficiency. 200 square foot efficiency.
Damn.
A fucking broken down 2-1. Broken down was $1.4 million.
That's a lot of money for an efficiency.
Yes. And the houses there are super, super expensive to buy. And you can get an Airbnb out of it. I think it's like $200 per night.
Speaking of Airbnb, that was actually the thing I'm gonna say was something cool I learned. I watched this video that Tony Salazar, the guy who does marketing stuff for UFC and Vitality, he's a great dude. He does awesome content. He did a video with one of his clients that was about Airbnbs. There's a law in Florida that you can't rent a home out for less than 30 days.
You can't rent a home out for less than 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Airbnb is technically not allowed.
So
Kinda
is New
thing?
York. New York has a similar law.
I'm sure a bunch of the
They
states
just
do.
New York just put that law in because of the migrants that were in there. They put that in so people don't Airbnb it out to random people for a couple of days. Like, so they're forced to rent it out to someone that's going to be there for 30 days or more.
So the video I was watching, this guy apparently got some lady went and shouted out to the state of Florida 100 Airbnbs and got them shut down. And so I guess what's happening is, like, unless it's pointed out to them that this is happening, they don't really come and shut you down. So I'm sure you can go put your Airbnb on Florida now, right now on the app. I'm sure what's gonna happen though is they're gonna shout out to Airbnb and say, hey, you're not allowed to use your services in Florida unless it's for a minimum of 30 days.
Well, I don't think Airbnb is going to enforce that. I
They
think
would
it's
have
just
to if by law.
well,
if they were
Airbnb. No,
forced.
Airbnb will say, hey, listen, here's the platform, and you putting your house on there, you need to understand your state laws before you put in your house for rent. And so whatever these
But that's
people
like-
decide to do,
That's like the gambling apps. Like if you're trying to go and bet on sports and stuff like that, there's only a limited amount of things you can do out of Florida.
mhm.
Same thing. It's the app has that restriction put in due to the
Now,
laws.
here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm thinking right away, right? Because me being foreign, I'm always looking for a loophole. What if you buy the home under a company name, you as a person are the renter of the home, which you pay the mortgage. You basically the company that bought the home, they pay the full mortgage. But you as a person, you're renting this home from your own company, and then you turn around and put that house on Airbnb for a couple of days. At a time. I'm charging people to stay at my house that I'm renting.
You're effectively renting your rental.
Yes, I'm affecting I'm
It's
effectively
still
renting my
renting.
rental.
It's still renting though.
Am I renting or I'm allowing people to sleep in my home
For a
that I'm renting?
for a dollar amount, that's the definition of renting.
What if I'm on a premises? What then?
That's a good question for a judge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Judge. Yeah,
there's
not
a
us.
no, not all of this is true, but there's always a gray line in there,
Yeah, I know
and you
people
can
that do
always walk that
Airbnb
gray
and
line.
they don't rent for more than 30 days. Like when you've used Airbnb, have you rented for more than 30
Nope,
days?
Nah,
never.
bro.
I've
Three,
rented
4 That's the whole
plenty.
idea of Airbnb. And the reason it's done because the reason they did that is because hotels lobbied this shit. Because
Oh,
hotels
okay.
are fucking getting hammered right now. Nobody wants to go to a hotel.
Yeah, it's
Interesting, he
expensive as
said.
Yeah,
shit.
expensive
You
as
can't
shit.
do
Exactly.
anything.
He
You're a
said
lot more
Jay's right.
restricted.
The liability is on the owner, not the Airbnb. Interesting.
Yeah, liability is on the owner, not the Airbnb. Airbnb doesn't give a shit. You know, they're
Um,
creating the market for it.
The interesting thing that I learned was that 80% of rain sounds in movies and TV shows are actually made using fried food.
The what?
The
Oh,
sound
fried food.
used.
Oh yeah, I've seen. There's like
That's
I think
funny.
there's a wife and a husband, the most known in the industry, and everyone goes to them to make the sounds like of footsteps in the snow, and it's crazy. But the randomest thing they'll do to make the sound, insane.
Yeah, dude. Like they use like hay or some shit.
Yeah,
And they'll like for like horses, they'll probably get like a rock with hay or some shit or dirt and just stomp it on the ground.
yeah, and then they'll go do the stomping and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
I've seen it.
watching the videos of them actually doing it
Yeah.
because they're like staring,
They're
like
trying to
fucking
sync.
wide-eyed, just at the
sync
screen like this,
audio.
and like doing
It says-
shit and
also
grabbing
says-
random stuff with their hands and match the noises and just bro, they're so focused in.
He says it's legal as long as you get a license. As long as you get a renter's license. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. As long as you get an Airbnb license. So a lot of people don't get the license, so that's probably what it is.
That could be, yeah. I mean, I guess they're covered maybe under Airbnb as long as they
Disseminating.
get their license.
Disseminating.
Disseminate is that?
You guys disseminating false information. Well, thanks for helping us, Ozzy.
We're just talking shit. We're not giving out any information.
Yeah, we're the Airbnb of community. Go figure out your own little state rules and regulations. By the way, guys, could you give us a thumbs up in the comments if you haven't done so already? Not comments, but thumbs up and all that good stuff. But anyway,
have you guys had any recent like shows, TV shows, or guilty pleasure stuff that you've been watching?
Started watching Reacher.
Reacher.
That show on Amazon Prime. It's pretty good. Me and Emily are watching it together.
I started the first episode.
We're on the second season now.
I've seen like clips of it on the internet. Looks like a good show.
You know what's funny about Reacher? I've watched a couple episodes of it. He's like the quintessential 80s hero, movie hero, like jacked,
Alpha male.
but he's very liberal in his ways of thinking. So they've mashed both, they mashed the culture, current culture with what's been, flying really well with.
What I think is he's like that character that fills two roles. Not
Yeah.
only is some big scary dude, the guy's super smart and intelligent and good at reading scenarios and breaking
He's
down.
socially calibrated. He's not just like me big,
Yeah.
I kill, No, Jack Reacher. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I like Jack Reacher.
Watch
I
it
watched a
after
couple
the
episodes.
podcast, though. You can watch it later. You got all the time in the world.
Yeah, you can pause it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't.
I'm just gonna put it here in the background. You guys do your thing,
Yeah. No, Reacher's good. No, guilty pleasures. No, nothing specific. I'm just kind of sticking to my routine. It's very, very monotonous, boring, rinse and repeat every time.
Been doing a lot of Kill Tony. Anytime that comes out, Dan
Oh.
Mullen still.
So we were talking to this person at the bar just randomly because everybody's very friendly there. You can just talk to anyone and like you'll roast them and they'll roast you at the bar. And these are grown people, right? We're talking to them and I was talking to them. I was like, man, the prices of the houses are super expensive, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't understand how do these people afford this, right? Like being waiters and things. Waiters and stuff like that. There, how do you afford this? Because the prices are not that expensive, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still a little bit pricier, but they're not crazy, right? And he's like, guess what? I'm like, what? I'm gonna ask you the same question. He turned around and looks at me and goes, Guess how much like an average stripper makes in Key West? Guess.
I don't know, a couple thousand a week.
Couple thousand a week.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say, are we talking about like a year?
You go week by month. We'll convert it to a year.
I'll do a year. I'm gonna say 120,000.
240 grand.
God damn, twice.
$5,000 $5,000 a week. It's an average stripper. That's how much she makes. And then he goes, that's what the strippers make. Waiters are not that high, but they're very close.
Really?
Yeah, waiters and bartenders are pretty close. And goes, and that's how they can afford
Yeah.
to live in Key West. Which Key West is the most southern point out of all the islands. There's like Isla Morada, Key Lime, Isla
Key
Morada.
Largo, I think.
Key Largo, not Lime. Key Largo, Isla Morada, and so on and so forth. So some of them do commute for this, but yeah, they make money down there. So, let me give you got a solid 60-second if you ever go and kill Tony.
I'm sure I could get a couple laughs. I don't know if I have
What's
a
your
solid. I don't know if I have a
What's
solid.
your okay? So you got your jokes ready? You got some jokes in the pocket?
Mickey would just go with dad jokes, bro. He would just do the dad jokes.
Ready, but I would just sit up there and just do my thing. I don't know. I would just talk about what's going on.
You just do
I'll
your
make
dad
some-
jokes, bro.
I'll make something up.
Do your dad jokes, it'd be good.
Do the dad jokes.
Bad
do the
advice
dad-
if you ask me, Joe.
I
do the dad
would
jokes.
get destroyed.
His dad jokes are funny, bro. His dad jokes are funny.
Not kill Tony.
They're
Fine.
funny
but they're
because
not-
they sound
yeah,
so
they're-
dumb. That's
they're
why
not-
they're so funny.
They're not like a comedy set per se, though. They're just like little quick one-liners that I just
Yeah.
shoot often.
Kind of like Max Verstappen said when he was talking about. It, was like, well, if my mom had balls, she would be my dad type
Yeah.
of deal.
So what happened was they, Lando won the Miami Grand Prix, surprisingly, and it was a safety car that really allowed him to get that large gap in the front and basically get the ahead. And they were basically asking, "Oh, Lando, what if there wasn't a safety car? You think you still would have won the race, this and that?" And Verstappen just says, "Yeah, well, what if my mom had balls? She'd be my dad, like same thing."
You guys all talking about if
Yeah.
could be anything, but well, anyway, so yeah, so definitely check out Key West. It's not as expensive as you think it is, and it's a little better version, I guess, of St. Pete or Clearwater Beach, right? That's the best way I can put it. Around this time is their slow season, but it is hot as shit. So the second day we were there, the temperature was 86 degrees, but the heat factor was 108.
Shit.
So it's hot. It's very, very hot. Like,
It's been getting hot. These past 2 days have been fucking.
Extra hot.
Yeah.
wait till August.
I know,
Fucking
right?
stepped out of the house. I couldn't breathe, bro.
Yeah. So click some of those other articles. Click that Instagram one. I kind of want to get your opinion on this. This is Instagram. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know how true this is, but yeah, go ahead. If you
play video games the wrong way now, the FBI will arrest you. They'll do what? This 45-page FBI document details how the government will now arrest you if you play video games the wrong way. The f does the wrong way mean? So if you set fire to a forest in Minecraft, that means you are now committing an act of environmental violent extremism. Or by forcing your pals to work without rest or food in Pal World, you'll be arrested for the exploitation of animals. That's what they mean by the wrong way, and no, I'm not joking. These new rules were put in place because of the US Government Accountability Office report stating that 20% of adult gamers and 15% of young gamers are being exposed to white ideologies in online games. Again, I'm not joking. So if you like spreading democracy in Helldivers 2, then congratulations! You are now on the DHS and FBI's list of extreme gamers and will be investigated further. This means all of your party chats, messages, past transactions, and in-game actions will be closely monitored.
arrest
Follow
Justin.
before I get cancelled. So apparently if
They would arrest half my friend group, more than half.
I would
If it
be
was-
in Guantanamo right now.
you know what's the funny part? You know
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
you know what's the
Tortured.
funniest shit about that? Here's the funniest shit about that. What he said, like being subjected to supremacy, this and that, that's been going on since day one, right? That you've always been subjected to that. The funny part is they did the experiment. There's zero correlation between people that play video games, specifically violent video games, and then becoming violent. There's zero correlation.
If anything, it's de-stressing.
I think it's not the violence, is the spread of ideas that the U.S. government is looking at. Which
Spread
I
of-
still don't, I don't.
I
know
don't
if
agree
I
with that
go
because
with.
spread of ideas. I mean, Xbox. Literally, the idea of Xbox was people played Xbox games because they could chat back and forth and talk shit to
That
each
was
other.
big back then, dude. Like,
That was literally why people played that.
I wanted a microphone so bad when I was a kid and I couldn't get one.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because you could talk shit on there, right? That was the whole idea. It's been done. I don't see any one of you suddenly getting up and becoming white supremacist. I'm just saying, it's a crazy fucking idea. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But the things like that fucking piss me off. They really really piss me off. And um,
Feels like this guy, all he did was just make a nice
No.
little edited video with just dumb shit said that would catch the attention of younger kids.
could be. No, but here's my thing. Now, am I a proponent of you sitting there and playing video games for many, many hours on end? No. But at the same time, as I understand, video games have they're captivating and there's something that you're gonna do no matter what, right? At the end of the day, I think if this to be true, you know what I mean? It's fucking dumb, and I think there's something else. It can't just be that simple, right? There's something else. Someone's lobbying for some reason, so there you have it. Well, they've been placing a lot of the popular podcasts on DHS list as well.
Popular podcast.
Popular podcasts like
DHS? What's DHS list?
the DHS, they basically like they're tracked like a terrorist organization, extremist organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, podcasts have been known to be placed on this and monitored.
I just posted something interesting I saw. It was 5 or 6 Japanese things to help with I think discipline, or let's see, 6 Japanese techniques to overcome laziness. I
Alright.
like the pictures are the best part. It's like Elon Musk, Putin, Snoop Dogg, and shit. That shit was funny to me. Ikigai. Discover your purpose in life. Choose something that aligns with your strengths, passions, and needs of the world. This is what gives life meaning. Kanye West. They chose Kanye West to represent Ikigai. Read the next one.
Shikata ganai. Let go of what you cannot change. There are some things that are out of your control, and that's okay. Let go and focus on what you can change.
So
I've heard
before
so
you go
many people
anywhere,
doing this.
Leonardo DiCaprio, one of his ex-girlfriends came out and said she had the worst date with him. He rented the entire movie theater and they were there for like 8 or 9 hours or something like that. And he made her watch a bunch of Star Wars movies while he ran around with his lightsaber pretending to fight bad guys. And she's like, this was the worst day ever. To me, I was like, if you into Star Wars like that, bro, that's like a best date ever. Like, your dumbass needs to be fucking happy. Somebody like him
Not
that could have,
appreciative, bitch.
yeah, not appreciative, bitch.
Shit, I would have been on. I would go on that date. Watch Star Wars all day. And
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, Leo, I'll be in the background chilling with my mouth quiet.
bring me my own lightsaber,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, bro. Yeah, we
I'll
can,
act
we
them
can
out
recreate
together.
this shit. Yeah. We can be against each other. We can be with each other,
Whatever you like, dog.
I'll even attempt to flip. Shit.
Wabi Sabi
That sounds like candy.
encourages us to embrace our imperfections and accept the cycle of life. Everything in life, including us, is in a state of change. Change is the only constant. Nothing is ever complete.
So the FBI has for data from game companies not to monitor gamers, but because there are a lot of hate groups and extremist groups to have meetings and indoctrinating new members. Okay, some games like Roblox
I can
and
see
others
them
with
using
other online
GTA
communities.
using that
Yeah,
shit.
but it's been
in
going
the
on
role
forever.
playing. Oh shit, I can see that.
Come on.
Gaman. That sounds like someone Jamaican would say. Yeah, man.
Come on. Preserve your dignities during tough time. Show emotional maturity and self-control even when faced with challenges. Remember to be patient, resilient, and understanding. Obaitori. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has a different timeline and unique path. It's important that you focus on your own progress and don't measure yourself against others.
What it is? Don't they say comparison is the thief of joy?
Supposedly.
I agree.
I only see it as competition.
Competition is good for motivation,
Yeah.
but at the same time, competition has that same side effect where you're comparing yourself to others. You're never going to be happy. There's always someone better.
Mm-hmm. Kaizen. Why they fucking put Harry Potter? Always
Dressed
seek
as
to
a fucking
improve in all
samurai.
areas of your life, even if you don't need to improve. Even small changes can add up and make a big impact over time.
That's interesting because I feel like this all the time when sometimes you improve something so small in your life that you're like, it was almost unnecessary when it happened. You thought it was, and then it did something extreme.
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
To raise it to we'll go back. What did they say?
It was just promoting them.
Oh.
Oh,
All right. And
so yeah, so so I thought that was kind of interesting, but okay. Someone already trying to flip a 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. So these guys apparently put the cruiser down for, I think it was like $80,000 or some within that line.
So it's bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser just started arriving at dealers across the country a month or so ago. I don't even think I've seen one on the road, and yet someone is already trying to flip one on Bring a Trailer. A seller has listed a 2024 Land Cruiser First Edition on Bring a Trailer. Toyota has planned a run of 5,000 First Editions for the 2024 model year. It is currently the most luxurious model you can buy. It boasts features like special 18-inch wheels, round LED headlights, and a 14-speaker JBL audio system. All this can be yours for $74,000. Well, $75,000. You don't pay that at dealers right now, of course. The 550 Land Cruiser First Editions I was able to find for sale across the country right now, just over 200 were marked up over $80,000 or more. The seller on BAT must be one of those buyers who paid a markup. What other reason could there be for wanting to get rid of one of the biggest automotive intros of the year? Whoever purchased this seemed to have no intention of using it either, as the description says it only has 11 miles on the odometer. What makes it all the more interesting is that the seller currently has a lien on a Land Cruiser. They mentioned in the comments that it's been leased through the Toyota Financial. So they even have these resellers in the car market. I mean, that's also been a thing for fucking years. You always have people flipping cars.
Now, what do you think? Because the reason I say this is because it's not a Ferrari, it's not a Lamborghini, it's not a 911, it's a Toyota that's priced at $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't this tell you a little bit how well people live in the United States, or how much extra cash is out there with they're like, you know what, I'll pay $80,000 just to get this car. Because somebody's gonna go out there.
No,
and
I
pay
don't think so
$80,000.
because this is one of their high-end luxury vehicles. Not many people are gonna purchase this car regardless.
Well, no, they didn't make this as luxury.
I know, but it's one of their higher end. It's like their highest end
Well,
vehicle.
what's the price of it? Go on a pricing. Go to
It says
Toyota.
$75,000.
They listed it for that much.
And they're selling for more than that. Over $80,000.
No.
The
Read
MSRP
it
says
again.
75.
It just said that
MSRP
over
was 75, or they listed it
just
for
over
that.
200 were marked up over $80,000.
But look, right there it says 74,950 MSRP
Okay, so how much are they trying to sell this on that Bring a Trailer?
for over 80,000.
$80,000.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't. Okay, never mind. I
mean,
misunderstood this.
still, like, the fact that there are people that choose to just buy a car like that still shows that in the U.S. we are kind of spoiled.
We are, and especially these people. None of these people are going to utilize this vehicle for its needs.
When we could just get a Toyota Corolla for $17,000-$18,000 around there.
Yeah. Well, you probably won't. They're probably going to be closer to 22.
Depends if you buy it brand new. If you buy it brand new, you're looking at
exactly.
25, 26.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I
Depending on your credit score.
I always thought like I don't understand the rush to get the vehicle. I mean, yeah, they're scarce right now. They're a little bit rare right now. You just don't know if this car is gonna, like, it's a very big gamble that you're taking on a car that might be popular in 20 to 30 years. I mean, Land Cruisers have been known to be popular, but the older versions, the newer versions, not so much. But you don't know if this is even gonna be a hit with the community.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you guys like the old remodeled trucks, like the refurbished ones, like the antique looking ones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like farmhouse
depends.
trucks,
Yeah,
those old
depends which ones.
Chevys.
Yeah, the
Those
old.
things are cool, right?
My
Some people ruin them though. Like they be adding too much to them, like big ass fucking libs, big ass.
My
wheels,
uncle-
doesn't match.
in DR, he has a old Chevrolet like antique from probably like, look up like a 1970s Chevrolet diesel.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw today.
Uh,
Saw like a light blue.
maybe a little
version
newer
of
than
this.
that. Maybe a little newer than that. or older. I mean, I can't remember. I can only picture the rear end of this thing right now. I don't know. This thing still runs to this day, and they use it for like bringing gravel and stuff like that.
They're kind of like this, probably older.
No,
DR.
it's probably it's newer then. So look up a
Yeah.
1980s.
Mm.
Man, I don't know. It's a big diesel truck.
90s.
No,
That's
and is it
too-
even a Chevy? I might be wrong.
Eh,
I don't know.
whatever.
Those things are crazy. They run for crazy long, especially if you got a diesel.
Yeah, but those things, especially if they're kept up with and nicely painted and nicely refurbished, they look kind of sick.
Yes, they do.
Daily
Man,
driver.
the amount of old cars you see in Cuba is insane.
Yeah, but those old cars are fucking fixed up with whatever they can find.
Well, not only that, I watched the thing that
They'll
don't
use
they
a
make
bike
their
chain for a fucking whatever.
yeah, don't they make their own bolts? Like they'll because these bolts don't fit, so they'll measure the bolt and make it
In
themselves.
Cuba, everybody well, not everybody, but people make all types of shit. There's people that make custom hooks for fishing because where the fuck are you gonna get hooks
A
for
fishing
fishing?
hook, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a way. There's a way to use like a can, the top of a can.
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah,
a
Fold
yeah,
it a
I've seen
bunch of
that, yeah.
times so that you can make a hook. I've
Yeah,
seen that video.
yeah, I've
like
seen it, yeah.
you can use one of these to make a hook.
Yeah,
pretty
I've seen
cool.
that.
It's a lot of work though to make a hook. If you're in
I
a
mean,
survival situation, honestly,
You don't have.
I'd rather just
I mean,
die.
you would in reality
lot
to
of
do it
work.
the right way. You need fucking some pliers
a
to like
lot of
cut this
work.
shit up.
You'd fuck up. You'd spend more time trying to make the hook than if you were to just go out there and try and find something.
Probably.
Just sitting there trying to fold the can.
Well, first you gotta know how to fold the damn fucking thing. We're just assuming all of us
Exactly.
are just kind of thinking what we would do to it, but
Why? Give me some pliers and I'll do it right away.
anyway, go to the next
I wouldn't
article.
be able to do it.
Yeah, so these are the cars. I figured we can guess which one is which. Oh, did you exit out of that one? Yeah, I'll just go to this one. 50,000-year-old Neanderthal bones harbor oldest known human virus.
A new analysis of two skeletons suggests that 3 modern human viruses infected Neanderthals around 50,000 years ago. Neanderthals who lived 50,000 years ago were infected with 3 viruses that still affect modern humans today, researchers have discovered. These traces of ancient viruses are the oldest remnants of the human viruses ever discovered, New Scientist reported. They are around 20,000 years older than the previous record holder for the most ancient human virus.
How many
ever
times they
found.
can say the same fucking thing in different sentence?
Yeah.
Like, I hate this shit, bro. Just get to the point. You know what I mean? Look, scientists found ancient virus after sifting through DNA sequence drawn from the skeletons. Bro, we got it. We got it. Keep going down.
And that was originally found in Shagirskaya Cave, located
Shagirskaya. Located in,
All right,
in the
buddy.
Altai
Flex on me,
Mountains
brother.
of Russia.
located in the Altai Mountains in Russia. Several sequences appeared to be viral in origin. So the team compared them to modern viruses known to cause lifelong infections. They ruled out the possibility that the viruses came from modern humans who handled skeletons or by predators that fed on them by looking at specific signatures in their viral DNA that differed between the ancient and modern samples. Oldest DNA. In this way, they showed that our closest, now extinct relatives could be infected with 3 common modern human viruses: a type of adenovirus, a herpes virus, and a papillomavirus.
Papilloma, yeah.
In modern humans, adenoviruses can cause a range of symptoms, including cold and flu-like symptoms, sore throat, and pink eye. Infection with sexually transmitted papillomaviruses can lead to genital warts and certain types of cancer, while different herpes viruses can trigger cold sores, chickenpox, or mono. The herpesvirus found in Neanderthals looked most like the one that caused cold sores. The researchers behind these studies say the findings provide physical evidence to support the theory that viruses may have played a role in the demise of Neanderthals who went extinct around 40,000 years ago. The findings, published Tuesday, May 21st, to the preprint server GhettoRig, have not yet been peer-reviewed. It is possible that these viruses could one day be synthesized and used to infect modern human cells in lab dishes, the team said. Comparing the ancient viruses to modern ones could theoretically improve our understanding of diseases today. This discovery not only expands our understanding of viral evolution and disease throughout human history, but may also open avenues for development of new medical approaches, especially with regards to vaccines and antiviral treatments. Co-senior study author Marcelo Briones, a professor of bioinformatics at Federal University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, said in a statement. As the field of ancient virology expands, more revelations about past diseases are expected to help inform our understanding of modern diseases and improve our ability to combat them, Brown said. Although the idea of resurrecting ancient viruses might sound concerning, it's unlikely that this will happen anytime soon, an expert told New Scientist.
Did I miss it? Did they tell you what kind of virus this is?
I don't remember.
Well, it's a new kind of virus.
It's just an ancient virus.
But they don't know what it's, because they said they compare it to viruses that we currently have, so they don't have anything in comparison. So it's completely something that we've never seen before. Is that what they're saying?
It says
You got your guess is
It's
just
just nothing.
yeah.
It tells you nothing.
Traces of an adenovirus.
Adenovirus. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Should
adenovirus has
develop
been alive
herpes
back
virus
then. It
and
is now.
papillom-
Okay, so they found all
papillomavirus discovered
three.
in the bone.
Yeah.
All of
Okay,
them.
so they found all three. Anyway,
Damn, so whoever fucking they found got all three of them bitches at the same time?
but they probably found a bunch of bones that belong to a bunch of different individuals, and the herpes virus, right? Herpes virus. You know when you get the little cold
In
sores
the
on your
bones of two Neanderthals.
Okay, there you go. So they
So
have them.
still, I mean, even if they had two of them, it's like those guys fucking suffered.
Well-
You had both diseases.
Like herpes virus, right? The
That's
one
tough.
that the one that gives you the cold sores, right?
Yeah.
And if there's two
That
of
one's
them,
been around for a long time.
yeah, the cold sores are genetically transmuted, so you don't have to, like, you know how people have cold sores and they say, "Oh, you probably kissed someone, that's why you have a cold sore." No, it's
No,
not true.
you
It
already
came
have
to
that.
you genetically. It's you're most likely your
Well, there's
parents.
two
One of them
there's-
But it
has
there's
can
it.
also
two
be-
types.
But it
so
can also be
there-
passed.
it
on.
But it
could
also can be passed. Yes.
it also can be passed through either through mouth. If it depends on the kind you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have the genetic one, that's one thing.
If you've been eating
versus the-
dirty pussy, that's one way.
Well, that's a different. That's
Exactly.
a general. That's a genital herpes. Genital herpes and this one, they're completely different
Well,
strain of herpes.
the genital herpes can also come up. That same kind of herpes that you're talking about through sex can also come up on your mouth. It's usually a lot more severe though.
You can have them, yes, but the ones that you get, the cold sores you get, it's a different strain of the same family of the same viruses, basically. But the point here is that you get cold sores. A lot of people have it, and what happens? That virus sits, what's called in your ganglion nerve, and any kind of stress, it could be physical, emotional, or like getting sick or emotionally
Sounds
getting
like-
stressed, it'll flare up.
So it sounds like Stone Age STDs. Sounds about right.
It does, because if there's these two individuals, we don't know if they were male and female. If they were male and female, most likely they were banging. Since they were banging, they were sharing the fucking papillomavirus and all of that shit,
All right, these are Consumer Reports' lowest ranked cars.
Well, before we go, guess which ones do you think would be lowest ranked cars?
I don't know. Probably a lot of Volkswagens.
Bro, that's what I was gonna say. Volkswagen. That's literally what I was gonna say was
Probably a lot of
Volkswagen.
I'd say Mitsubishi's, Volkswagens, Nissan would be there.
Starting off with
The
the
Tahoe.
Chevy Tahoe.
Okay.
Surprised to see that 50 out of 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through these pretty relatively quickly here.
Okay.
that's fine.
There's a shit ton of them.
Yes, 20. So
Mercedes-Benz C-Class, 49.
I can see it. I can see it definitely.
Land
yes,
Rover
Land Rover. I can
Discovery.
see this.
Nissan Frontier. Those are actually kind of okay looking trucks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of those?
Yeah.
No?
I don't
It's
like
kind
it.
of like Nissan Frontier. I would think of always Nissan cars as like a girl that's kind of cute. She's not very hot, but she's not ugly either.
It reminds
But she's
me of-
dumb as a box of rocks.
It reminds me
That's
of a
what Nissans are to me.
lesser version of a Tundra. Not saying that that's a good thing, but that's kind
It
of.
reminds me more of the Tacoma because it's
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah, it's a mid-sized truck. I can see where you're going with the Tacoma.
Yeah,
but
because
still,
then
it's still too
But it's
chunky.
it's
for
you
still
it.
a
can
better
compare the
looking
Tundra
Tacoma.
to the Tacoma, the Nissan Tundra,
The,
not
Ta-
the Tundra.
the
Sorry,
Tacoma, the Tacoma's kind of like a slim, thick.
sorry,
type of
Titan
the
Titan
Nissan
Tundra.
Titan to the Tundra.
Yeah, but it's still a better looking Tacoma. If you just
I
compare
like the way the
looks.
Tacomas look. I think I would actually like the way the Tacomas look more than this.
Yeah.
The new Tacomas are
It's just a
badass.
little chunkier. All right, next. Volkswagen.
There we go.
VW.
is
Finally. Make the thing smaller. Make the page smaller. This way you don't have to mess with it.
Oh, true. Probably do that. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
still does that.
Well, just make it more even smaller.
Can you exit out that ad?
Which one? This one?
That
The
no,
top one.
No, it doesn't fucking.
Stop
That.
seeing this.
Bro, they had that big ass bar on the top for such a small ad, anyways.
All right.
Another Land Rover. That
yeah.
makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Another one.
Another
one.
Another one.
all the fucking
Bronco,
Land
huh?
Rovers.
Okay.
The
Wrangler.
Jeep Gladi- I mean,
Gladiator.
Jeep. I'm not
Gladiator.
surprised the Jeep is on here. Another
Yeah.
Jeep.
Not surprised at all.
Polestar.
Polestar.
We don't have those here, do we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's Volvo's.
pay attention.
electric.
Electric car.
Oh, fuck
Pay
it.
attention on the road. You'll see them. Not as much as Teslas, but you'll see them.
There you go.
Mitsubishi
You're right about
Mirage.
Mitsubishi.
I wanted a Mitsubishi Lancer. That was almost my first car.
Mitsubishis are just known for fucking making shit cars mechanically.
They looked cool at the time, and for the
Well,
price,
the Lancer, if you got like an Evo, the Evolution, that one is badass. Really, really good motor. You know,
Yeah.
super, super strong car.
at the time I had 3K in hand. And that car was something like 29, and I was like, "Whoo, I want
Yeah.
this." All right, that's it.
That was it.
I thought it was a lot more. It was
It was
saying like
17.
48 or something. All right, cool. You guys want to wrap it up?
Are we done with the articles? There's like top cars as well,
We
I
might
think.
have me like one.
What was
Oh yeah,
that?
did we talk about the watches? When
No,
we
we
talk
didn't.
about
You
the
had brought
watches?
that up, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
How much does a lifetime of servicing actually cost? Watch enthusiasts love to preach the sustainability and longevity of mechanical watches. However, there's a bit of an asterisk in which involves servicing. If a watch movement doesn't get serviced on a regular basis, it is more likely to jam up, break, or stop working for any number of reasons. Plus, servicing is expensive. Even if you just got an entry-level Seiko, like the one on my hand right now, it gets a whole lot of movement replaced rather than repaired.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
looking
movement
at
costs
multiple
pennies.
times the cost of what the watch is over its lifetime. So with a lens cast over a wide spectrum of price points, how much does a lifetime of servicing actually cost? For the sake of the argument, our hypothetical watch owner purchased a watch on their 30th birthday and will die at a fairly age of 80 years old. Over the 50 years of watch ownership, will be adhering to the recommended service intervals and using prices reported by various watch owners on forums where boutique servicing costs are not made public. It's important to remember that servicing is a preventative measure as it is a restorative one, meaning that you shouldn't just service a watch once it stops working. Water resistance especially is something that can suddenly fail and dramatically causing a lot of damage before you even realize something is wrong. I've heard the quite opposite of this, but so you're talking about your base level Seiko, so NH35 movement. If your watch movement is less expensive than a Seiko 4R35, which is the NH35 movement, then servicing probably isn't even on your mind. These movements are cheap and plentiful. They are also renowned for the
Longevity.
I can't say it.
Longevity.
And reliability. If you were to replace the movement yourself, you'd probably be looking at around $40 for a new one. However, servicing includes lots of things like lubrication, timing adjustment, fresh gaskets, and pressure testing, which especially on dive watches, which is especially important on dive watches. Recommended service interval every 2 to 3 years. Average cost $159 through Seiko. Lifetime servicing cost $2,000. Damn. So
ETA movement. The cost of ETA movement is about $200 if you buy it.
go up a little bit. It says it'll say it here. Average servicing 200 300. How much is a Salida movement? Doesn't say.
Salida, I don't know, but ETA is about $200.
That Salida movement they're referencing is a same thing as an ETA. So Omega, the Omega Seamaster 300 meter is the perfect example of a typical luxury watch with thousands of people wear on a daily basis. It is a relatively high level of complexity with its coaxial escapement and METAS chronometer certification, but it's still just a time and date movement at the end of the day. Many Swiss brands with in-house movement of a similar level will have similar servicing costs. Recommended interval 5 to 8 years, $700 Omega price calculator for this watch. Lifetime servicing cost $4,300 to $7,000.
So the Omegas, they last longer without having to do service, but it's twice the amount money when it does come to servicing.
Yes, and the watch is probably 10 times the amount of money,
Yeah.
maybe even more. Luxury Swiss chronograph. So Rolex Panda, not
Daytona.
Daytona. Chronograph movements are vastly more complex, and their time chronograph movements are vastly more complex than their time-only counterparts. Whether the chronograph is integrated or modular, it is most likely adding between 100 to 200 extra components. Not only are they more difficult to pull apart and reassemble, but the parts typically take more wear and need replacing more often than the parts of a time-only movement. So it says recommended service interval every 10 years, though. That's something interesting to me, that it's saying it can last longer without getting serviced, but you're looking at a $1,500 to $2,000 service. Lifetime servicing costs $15,000 to $20,000.
I don't know this because I've asked directly my AD what the servicing cost. They said but basic Rolex servicing is $800. That's granted you don't need any parts.
But this is talking about a chronograph.
Yeah.
So it's different. you
Yeah.
know?
So high luxury Swiss complication Patek Philippe's, this is the cream of the crop of watches. Basically go down.
Yeah, it's like an annual or
$2,300. That's actually pretty, not a lot.
Yeah,
$2,300.
$23,000 in lifetime servicing costs.
Go down Longo and Zona. That's
High-end
another
with
high end watch
complications.
making complications. Keep going down. It's super complicated. So 4,000. That's not bad.
Okay.
And then you have the super thin ones. These are probably gonna be like the Bugattis of watches, right?
Oh, it doesn't even say, huh? Go up.
So the other day I was watching. Somebody was replacing brakes on a Bugatti, and they had to replace the calipers and things like that. Like to do all that shit, it was, I think, and the tires and whatever, $500,000.
Damn.
You own a Bugatti, that's what you're looking at. The maintenance costs, like the larger maintenance. Not
Can't
just oil
afford it,
change.
don't buy it.
That's the whole game, right? Like, you were paying $4 to $5 million for a car. Like that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize, like with expensive toys, you get expensive problems, right? Because they can charge you that much because you have the money for the expensive toy.
Right.
So a lot of people don't take that into account.
Like, for
I heard
example,
this rule that's like, it says don't buy something unless you can buy it twice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good rule
I
to live by.
I forgot what the car was, but it was like a luxury sports car,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they got the same part from a BMW for like 1/10 of the price.
Rolls Royce probably
I
because
think
they
it was
use
a
the
Rolls-Royce.
BMW.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a Rolls Royce that this really basic panel through Rolls Royce was like some extreme amount, and then they got it through BMW for a few $100, and it's the same exact part.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
Same, but different.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. And
What's
oh,
this? Ulysse Nardine, a net diver, and skeleton OPS introduced military green vibes to the range. This watch is extremely weird looking. That bezels. What is that bezel? I
Camo.
don't get it. Looks maybe like carbon.
maybe. Well, yeah. I don't think
Could
they
be.
can make that out of metal. It's got to be carbon or ceramic.
They make some pretty cool watches.
Well, it's not ceramic.
All
it's
the
probably
one,
carbon.
all the money in the world. What are you buying?
All the money in the world. What am I buying?
One watch that's like extravagant.
I wouldn't buy an extravagant watch.
You wouldn't
I-
buy like an MB&F for your work.
Mm.
I
I'd
would.
buy a perpetual calendar.
I would buy like an MB&F for your work. Something crazy like that.
No, I would get all the money in the world. I would get one of those high-end, super exclusive Patek Philippe perpetual calendars, because I know they're just gonna continue going up in price.
Got all the money in the world. What do you care about whether it's gonna invest or not?
Because at that point, anything I buy, I want it to be an investment.
No, we're not talking about it in that sense. You're thinking about it too much. God damn, Jay, just a watch. Like if you had any money in the world, don't think about it too much.
That's what I'm saying. A Patek Philippe.
Okay.
Patek
It's not
Philippe
gonna work.
perpetual
Never
calendar.
works.
That's the high horology. Look, there's a reason why Patek Philippe has the largest and biggest, most known name in the world. Considered the best watch in the world. Number one. Number two, the high horology, which means like it's extremely complicated, and it's valued. And number three, keeps the price up insanely high. So as somebody
If
that
you
likes
had
watches, that would be the holy
If you
grail
had
for me.
unlimited money and you could do whatever the fuck you wanted, at that point, just go straight to Jacob and Co. and have them make you a custom fucking watch.
We can go to anyone and have them commission
One
a
of
watch.
one piece. Yeah, but you want to go to like a fucking somebody who's known,
Yeah, the Patek Philippe would be it.
the fucking very best.
That's Patek Philippe.
I don't care who it is. The very best. I want the best.
Jacob and Co. The only reason they're blown up is because bunch of boxers, they'll buy their watch because it's all bedazzled in jewels and diamonds. Literally,
It's
like
pretty.
the only idea.
It's pretty.
Yeah, but it's not what the watches are about.
To some.
Yeah, they have
Who's
no
one to
idea what the
say?
fucking watches are.
No, I think you have a very closed off concept on watches, Jay. If I'm honest with you,
What do you mean closed off?
you're
Concept?
very
I have a
conservative on the.
conservative. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
he's
I
very
like.
Well, that's not the watch culture.
Again,
The current watch
that
culture
just
is
depends on the
about
person.
bling.
That just depends on
The
the
current
person's
watch
style.
culture is about the bling, and I don't
No.
consider bling as a watch because bling doesn't make the watch for me. Watch makes the watch for me.
Well, that's part of it.
That is. It's like saying, well, I'm gonna buy this Evo. I'm gonna buy this Evo because somebody put an aftermarket body kit on it. No, I want to buy the Evo and then put the aftermarket body kit that I want, or not put one.
Bad comparison.
What do you mean?
Because you're talking about aftermarket body kit. You're saying diamonds are instantly aftermarket. What if they're factory set?
The factory said okay,
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna have aftermarket diamonds on your Jacob and Co.
no,
bro.
the
Come on.
factory setting came after the idea that a lot of the rappers and people in the game decided to buy bedazzled watches. That's why the
Bedazzled.
factories started putting the diamonds and shit on the watches. These watches didn't come with those, and if they did, it was a very small amount of the diamonds that came on watches. Within the past recent years they started putting all the diamonds and everything on watches specifically for men. I'm talking about specifically for men, not women. For
wouldn't
women,
say-
I can see it.
I
Like
wouldn't
you
go
get
as far as saying that. Oh, he has his whole entire watch bedazzled. It's not a watch. It's still a watch. It's just iced the fuck out. Is it something that you like? No.
Yeah, but
is
see,
it something that they like? Yeah.
they're
Is it
getting
still
the
a watch?
watch.
It's
So
still
here's
a
the thing.
watch.
People are getting the watch because it's iced out, not because of what type of a watch they're buying. So if this, so it could be an Invicta. If tomorrow Invicta became as popular as Patek Philippe, and they iced it out, they would buy the Invicta versus Patek Philippe. But if you take Invicta and Patek Philippe and compare it as a watch itself, Invicta would be like the McDonald's of food, where your Patek Philippe is a three-star Michelin restaurant. There's a very big difference between these two watches. What I'm trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also bedazzled, unless you really know what's going on, you can go to Abdul in a kiosk in a mall and get a bedazzled watch. That's gonna look no different to a naked eye unless you really understand watches. So
It's funny, actually. We stopped at a watch store the other day, and I was with a coworker of mine. And he says to me, "Oh, I was looking at that Rolex, and it was like a full bust down Rolex." And I was like, "Man, that watch is worthless."
worthless, 100%
I
worthless.
said that watch is worth nothing more than the stones that are on it.
Yeah. Now factory is a different thing, right? Like factories came in and said, "Well, this is popular. Let's put our own in it. This is gonna keep the value up higher," which was extremely
Yeah,
smart.
factory
I
set.
agree.
Factory set watches, meaning the watch came already with the diamonds on it from the company that produced the watch. It's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's like, when I was looking at buying cars, like my car has the F Sport logo on it, right? Could have gotten a regular one and then put that specific lip on a car that makes the F Sport, but the factory from Lexus makes the F Sport with that lip on it, right? So you buy the lip because it gives you a little more aggressive look to it, but it doesn't change the fact that you're buying the same car, the same engine, same tuning. Like that little extra lip doesn't do anything to the car, but adds it to look, So anyway, but the point is, you are right. I am a little more conservative when it comes to watches rather than being, which is again, there's a market for everything, right?
Yeah.
Like if you like the bedazzled watches, get the bedazzled watches. Matter of fact, you're probably gonna get a lot more attention with a bedazzled watch than I would. You could have a $20,000, I don't know, Hublot on your hand, bedazzled, or even a $10,000, $15,000 Hublot bedazzled on your hand. You'll get a lot more attention than a $2 million Patek Philippe that has no diamonds on it. It's just the way it is.
1000% sure.
You know what I mean?
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat and talking with us. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll see you next week. Appreciate everyone. Shout out Vitality and UFC Jim Largo.